And on this episode of You Gotta Do Better, Senator, we have this from Cord Cutter News. Paramount Plus removes more Nickelodeon content, including Rugrats. It's the simplest thing. You make good content, people will buy your product. People will subscribe to your service. Simple. How are all these streaming services at the same time saying, let's go out there and choose to make the worst content we possibly can for the most amount of money, and we're going to bastardize every single franchise we get a hold of? Star Trek Discovery, garbage show. Every little bullshit spin-off you guys are making of Star Trek, garbage. Picard, garbage. You made Halo. You made a Halo TV show. You bought the rights to make the show of one of the most popular and iconic games of all human history. The game that made Xbox so popular back then. We're going to get a Halo TV show. And what did you do? You went out of your way to not make a Halo TV show. And you're confused of why you're losing money? Goes on to say, this comes as Paramount hopes to cut costs by cutting back on some of its content it offers through its streaming service. Yeah, people are rejecting you. People are going out of their way to say, no, I am deleting this. I am unsubscribing. I don't want anything to do with this. Also, this is a rumor. Have no idea if this is true. I heard they're trying to look at other services to sell Star Trek to. The original movies, the original show, they might be looking right now to sell off pieces of Star Trek to different places to make money, to keep the lights on. When all you guys had to do, simplest thing, just make good content. But as usual, they have no idea what good content is these days. They have no idea what a good idea is. They said, okay, cool, we're going to put the logo of Star Trek out there, and every single Star Trek fan going to run to our streaming service, pay the premium amount for no commercials, because God forbid I see another RuPaul's Drag Race commercial every single time it goes to an ad. It's like, oh, hey, here's 10 RuPaul's Drag Races. Yes, that is what the problem is, Paramount. That is what you are trying to push. You're trying to push those shows. You're trying to push the diversity and inclusion. And you're not remotely pushing good content, which is the basics of wanting to get people to spend their money on your product. You can't do that right. So why would anyone want to pay for your product? Why would you make Halo without making Halo? It's astonishing. It's absolutely astonishing. And now they're like, oh, hey, we're going to start removing these products right now. Yeah, of course you are. They're costing you money. You have to find excuses to bankroll all the other bullshit you're doing. You guys are so far dug in. I read a rumor that Paramount Plus might be trying to merge with Peacock, another dying streaming service, to create one super duper failure of a streaming service that no one's gonna buy. Do you think the people at Paramount realistically understand why they're losing money these days? The article says, this all comes as Paramount Plus struggles to become profitable. Yeah, don't you guys have the NFL? Isn't it kind of weird that I realized this last season, okay? There are like 4 or 5 different places that you have to pay for in order to watch football these days. Remember a couple years ago where you bought the NFL package and that gave you all the NFL games and red zone and stuff like that? You can't do that now, though. You have to have 3 or 4 different streaming services to see all the games. I didn't know that. When I got Paramount Plus because I wanted to watch the NFL season, I got rid of it really quickly because it's like, no, I can't watch all the games. I can only watch the local games. I can only watch, I think it was like, Sunday night or something like that? Like, why would that be a thing? If you have access to the NFL, wouldn't you want to just have all the games on it? Wouldn't you want to be the exclusive provider of football to the people? Thus, it will make people have to buy your piece of shit garbage streaming service, and then you could bankroll all your garbage, inclusive, diversity, gay bullshit? Wouldn't that make the most sense? Like, spend top dollar to get the NFL in the door, and then you could do everything else with it, because if people want to watch football, you're the only place they can go to. Paramount is not the only company cutting back on its content. Other major streaming services include Disney, has also been removing content from their platform to help cut costs over the last year. Again, another company that is going out of their way to make nothing but garbage. Nothing but garbage movies and nothing but garbage TV shows. They are doing, again, it's such a strange thing. I have no idea how all these companies at the same time decide to say, yes, we have been around for like 100 years and we've been doing everything right this entire time. Let's fuck it up. Let's tear it all down. Let's lose 99.99% of our audience. Make our content exclusively for a tiny little minority. And then shame everyone in the world for not liking our crap. That is what all these streaming services are doing. And they're all losing in hysterical fashion. How is this possible? I have no idea. But Paramount, dead in the water. Disney Plus, dead in the water. Peacock, dead in the water. And they're all irrelevant. There's nothing on any of these streaming services right now that I could realistically say, you have at least this. Actually, I take that back though. Disney Plus, you could say, well, you have the old stuff. That's about it. Anything new coming out of Disney post 2020 has not been good. Has not been good at all, from its movies to its shows to its musical number garbage stuff. It doesn't matter what it is, it's all bad. So that's the only feather in the cap I can say with these streaming services like Paramount Plus. Oh, what's the one thing they have going for them right now? They have the old Star Trek TV show and the old Star Trek movies. That's about it. That's it. There is nothing else on Paramount Plus that I can say right now, hey, this is a show you're going to like. There's nothing. They've ruined everything new. So the only thing that people are watching these days on these streaming services are the old things. When both of these companies actually gave a shit. I think it's going to be a lot more than they're going to have to just cut a couple of titles to keep the lights on these days. You are going to have a monumental shift where you're going to have to say out loud, I am going to deal with the negative comments on Twitter from people with 1,000 pronouns in their bios shaming me for not making more content for representing these tiny little groups of minorities. That is what's realistically going to have to happen. They're all going to say, you know what? We're going to turn off all of our social medias and we're going to focus again on making good content. But is that going to happen? Hell no. Hell no, that's not going to happen. They are going to keep digging themselves further and further down this hole of disparity and bullshit and bankruptcy until there is nothing left. There is going to be nothing left until billionaire Elon Musk is like, hey, you know what? I really like Star Trek. I'm going to buy this entire company and make great shows. It's going to have to happen. It's going to have to happen because what's next for these companies? If you have nobody willing to buy your company from you, if you have no one that's going to say, hey, I'm going to buy the company and you guys don't have to worry about anything like that. If you have no one watching your shows either, what's next? What is next for them? They're at the breaking point here. And no, I say that a lot though. Every time a new Disney Plus show or movie comes out though, or anything bullshit Paramount Plus has going on for it, I'm like, is this gonna be the end for them? And then the next week they do something even worse. It's like, oh, is this gonna be the end of them? They're like cockroaches. They're like insignificant cockroaches that we only talk about them, especially me, just to make fun of them. There's nothing on either one of these streaming sites that I am excited for or willing to say, yes, I'm going to go out, pay money for this service so I can tell you guys about it. It's nothing good coming out of it. And we all know that. So what do you think I was going to ask, what do you think Paramount Plus has to do to bring in their audience? It's simple. Make good shit. Make good content. It's not that difficult. So, yeah, what do you guys think about that? Let me know.